People don't need to be saved or rescued. They need knowledge of their own power and how to access it. This is where science and spirituality meet.
Join us as we deep dive into topics and share tools to empower yourself along your soul's journey.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Deep Dive Soul Talk with Lisa and Wendy. And today we are going to be deep diving into the subject of judgment. And we can judge ourselves and we can judge others. So we're going to hit on both of those areas and how judgment shows up. I really think judgment is a huge lesson in humanity right now. Judgment disconnects us from people. It is a real low energy. And again, I'm going to say it, Earth is soul school. We judge everything. We try to fit people into boxes, their societal labels. Judgment is huge, don't you think?
I do. I love what you said. We're being fit into these boxes right now. And you see it through body language. You see it through status, just knowing, oh, you're less than me, or the looks. You look at somebody and you've already got them figured out. Or it's these little subtle and pervasive qualifying questions. So, do you do blah, blah, blah? Or, hey, have you done na, 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 na? Or are you blah, blah, blah? It's a way to qualify us. Like, why do I have to tell you what my career role is in order to be identified as a worthy being?
That's part of proving something to yourself. And boy, can we judge ourselves. We can beat ourselves up. We don't give ourselves enough credit. And that leads to burnout, doom and gloom, and then what we like to call the rabbit hole. Spinning mind vortex of just judging and criticizing ourselves. And ultimately, we talk ourselves out of doing things.
Right. It's good to have people that show us the light in our lives that say, hey, stop yourself from yourself just for a moment, because you've all heard that phrase, we're our own worst critic.
And I love that you call it the monkey mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting in that monkey mind, that's so judgment of ourselves. It's our worst enemy.
And it's nice, like I said, to have people in our lives or something that can be so, at the time, can be harsh or can be a great thing, but something that just gets us off that hamster wheel, like kicks us right off. We're like, whoa, now I'm going to see things differently.
Having a good support system, a good friend, a good mentor, a good uplifting podcast or show that you listen to, something that can shift that monkey mind and bring you back to yourself. And okay, I'm acknowledging that this is monkey mind, rabbit hole stuff.
Yeah.
And what can I do to not be judging myself so harshly?
And
that prevents so many people from living in their true power and their light is monkey mind.
And I imagine to the extent that we judge ourselves and have lack of compassion for ourselves, we're going to work double time to do it to others. And we all do it. We all judge. We all have that automatic response reaction. We like to say, and here's an opportunity to catch it. Hold yourself accountable. Would you want anyone judging you? Would you want anyone judging someone you care about and love and see the goodness in? I know I, for one, don't. I don't want that. Spend time taking care of or attending to yourself and look inward. What you may not like in another, as we are all mirrors in this world, take care and attend to your own garden.
I think people like to put expectations on other people. You're supposed to do this. And if you don't, I'm going to judge you for it. Or they try to control things. Everybody else is doing this. Why aren't you doing it? And we're going to judge you or put you outside of the box. And I think that just stifles people's authenticity in themselves. We need to allow people to be who they are. Not all going to have the same qualities or be the same people. And I think when you're able to stand in who you are and not care if you're judged, there is so much power in that. And it allows you to align with who you are. And then those energies that align with that in people will align with you. So the
So
more you step into your own authenticity, then that allows others to just naturally magnetize and mirror back to you. And you see that shift in your life and who's around you and who's supporting you, and getting that confidence in yourself helps with that whole judgment key in dealing with when other people's are coming at you and judging you.
And it's like nurturing a child, right? Remember we talked about attending to the child within? It's so important. Nurture that child within, nurture that goodness and the potential and all that you have your eye on the prize for yourself. There's a great phrase that I like that has helped me so much is, it is not my business what other people think of me.
I love that one. And it's so true. Nobody really cares at the end of the day. The thought that we think that they care is our own judgment of ourselves. Because if we're authentic with ourselves and we're proud of who we are, we're going to want to just be that.
Because it certainly is anxiety provoking, and you start getting into that ruminating of, what will other people think of me, what will they think of what I said or how I did it. And oftentimes there can be people not thinking about it. They're doing themselves and you do you.
Exactly. You do you, boo, right?
Yep, you do you. Yeah, really, like, you allow people to be who they are.
Yeah, I think that's so important, and encouraging others just to be who they are. So freeing, going back to the shackles. If we're not being authentic with who we are, shackling ourselves down and conditioning ourselves with that. And a lot of that comes with confidence and having good supportive people around you. But when we start to dismantle the judgments upon ourselves, then we dismantle the judgment in the collective and towards others and just as a whole.
And going back to the very first thing you said, that I want to repeat it again, you guys, in case you missed it. This is a huge lesson. Judgment is presented here right now as a huge lesson for humanity right now.
That has
This
showed up in such big ways over the past 3 years.
It really is.
In a political stance, in a health stance. How has that shown up for you? How have the last 3 years created divide and judgment in your own life or witnessing it otherwise? And,
And you
in
hear it
other
in
people.
families too right now. And judgment, to me, the big blaring word, the unspoken word, and I've got to say it out loud here, is comparison. It just reeks of comparison. And I'm comparing from my point of view, my POV, because why? Because it's familiar. It's what I know. And if it's uncomfortable or outside of it, then I'm going to judge. And is that serving any of us? Seek to see a new way, nurture to see a new way. We're all here in this world together. Like you said, soul school. Earth is a lesson for us. What we're doing here on the earth is a lesson right now.
And see what's happened in the past, process that, and how are we going to make it into the future? Are we going to take these forms of I'm right, you're wrong and bring those forward? Or are we going to be subjective to hear others' opinions that might shift our perspectives a little bit and not turn into a debate, maybe a healthy one? And that all comes with who you're connecting with, who you're resonating with. And it's okay if we don't agree with one another. We could agree to disagree and not carry those judgments and have them ruin friendships or ruin family dynamics. That we could just keep certain topics off the table if there's such a difference of opinions, and not let that destroy a relationship. And if it's something so deep, then maybe it's just somebody you just don't resonate with, and it's okay to peacefully let go.
Yeah. Again, just be accepting of each other. We all have those great friends who have such different belief systems than we do, but we wouldn't walk away from them. And that's what we're talking about today. Think about the goodness of those people and They have some qualities or they have some ways of believing that you're like, wow, that's different than I would do it. But it
Yeah.
doesn't have to turn into judgment.
Yeah, I don't think there is anybody on the planet that we will 100% agree with every little thing that they do or say. That's what makes us such great individual people. But it's okay, how do we take our differences and be able to coexist together? And I think there's a true harmony piece with that when we could coexist with others that might not have the same thought process or view with us, but we could allow each other that room and that space to exist together.
Set judgment aside and really look at what's there. Look at the great community you have. Look at the good friendships you have and the family that's there.
Yeah, because you never
Let them
know
be.
what somebody else is going through. Say you're at the grocery store and someone was rude and harsh with you. They could have just lost somebody, or they
Yeah.
could have been on a verge of a panic attack, or you don't know. So just instead of fighting that with more of that fire, that we could just hold that space and that thought of, we don't know what that person's going through. I'm not going to exert that energy reflected back. That makes
Right.
sense.
Yeah. And people will want to proclaim, again, they'll want to proclaim their differences and own it. And you don't have to be nasty or judgmental about it. You can go, oh, okay.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
that road rage guy that just cut you off and flipped you
Yeah.
off.
Let him go. Let him go.
We could fight it with, okay, I'm going to flip him off and tailgate him now. And,
Yeah.
or we could just let it go and, okay, he must be late for a meeting or something. So go ahead. I don't want you up in my space. We just invite you guys to sit with the judgment and how you're perceiving judgment and what little things that we can all do to deal with how we judge others. It's just a natural thing we do. So just to sit with that and see how that presents into your life.
Yeah. Judgment really is that inward dialogue with self.
Yeah.
Just take a look at it and let it go.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up this episode. And we hope you all have a good day and stay tuned for the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.